Carbos, yeah. Carbos USA.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Oh man, what's up? That song hits.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Both of them.
Yeah. Fucking pumped up right now.
Yeah, gets the people
I
going.
can tell the crowd is
Adrenaline.
excited.
Yeah, the crowd's
Rushing
going
through it.
wild.
In case for the people listening after this, it's the Tokyo Drift song.
Yeah, if you weren't here live, you missed Tokyo Drift.
Special performance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I have some comments on that, but first of all, this is Car Bros Podcast episode 61,
The Big 6-1.
the Big 6-1. So we were just watching Tokyo Drift.
Well, specifically
up.
one
Yeah.
part of.
Yeah, the intro,
Yeah.
the start of it.
Like, you may not have seen, if you're sane, you probably haven't seen that movie in like
Since it came out.
either ever
Yeah,
or in a decade.
right.
And because we were kind of joking about like, man, Tokyo Drift, that's so much different. I think last podcast we were making fun of it.
Right.
Because it's so much different from Fast 9. And we were like, wait, what was the plot of Tokyo Drift? We were talking
Yeah, I
about?
think the overlooked part of the movie is everything that happens before they go to Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a kid who's in high school
In America.
in America and he like gets in trouble.
Yeah, so his punishment is they send him to
So they
Japan.
send him to like his like drunk uncle or something.
Yeah.
It's like such
Yeah.
The ultimate punishment.
He races the guy from the kid from
Yeah.
Brad from Home Improvement.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
whatever that actor's name
the
is.
intro of the movie, yeah, Brad from Home Improvement has like a Viper
In high school.
It's this elaborate high school parking lot scene with like jocks with like football
Jerseys, but they also have like baseball
They're,
gear.
like, throwing
Yeah.
baseballs at each
And,
other.
and like Brad is like the leader, and he just has
Yeah.
like 3 or 4 guys that kind of like follow him around.
yeah, it's so
posse.
it's so generic, it's so over the top. And then there's this like really crazy race scene,
It's actually pretty good, pretty well
which
shot.
which looks a lot like Final Race.
Yeah, we
it's
were watching
very-
it. And
it's
it
very
was in
fun.
real
it's
life.
almost shot for shot.
Anyways, that movie was.
But the best,
you know,
the best part is the they like almost come to blows, and they decide to race.
oh yeah, they
Yeah.
race instead.
And then like,
Instead of-
was that
instead-
Brad's girlfriend?
Yeah,
Yeah, Brad has
Instead of racing for pinks,
girlfriend.
Brad's girlfriend suggests
she gives up
race-
herself to
Yeah.
the winner of the race.
said you should
Which
race for
like
me.
has that ever happened in real life?
No.
Yeah.
Whoever wins the race,
pretty- yeah.
they can have me.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But so that movie was bad when it came out, right? Like people
Yes.
made fun of it.
Yeah.
But it weirdly holds up now.
Well, I mean, at least the
like-
one scene that we watched.
Yeah, I guess that's true. We only watched about 5 minutes.
It's
of
a
it.
snapshot of a generation.
Yeah.
Well, it's so over the top now that it's no longer even remotely cool. Because I think when it was, the thing that's offensive is when those movies are new, it's almost like they're implying, here's what it's like to be cool
Right.
in high school or something. It's like, it's kind of a little offensive because if you're even around that age, you're like, this isn't real or whatever.
Daddy's Viper.
Yeah, but now it's so removed from reality that it's not that anymore, and it was pretty enjoyable. I wanted to keep watching.
Yeah.
We'll probably finish after.
We're probably gonna watch it after this.
My favorite scene was like during the race, the girlfriend who's riding with Brad in the Viper for some reason, like looks like it's like neck and neck.
Even though she's a neutral party.
Yeah. And she like looks over at Brad and she's like, I thought you loved me. And he like stares at her for 5 seconds.
And then he downshifts,
And then
right?
he just, he shifts. I don't know if it was a downshift
I
or an
think it's a
upshift,
down-
but
I feel like
he
we-
clearly had another gear, but he was choosing not to use it.
I think we thoroughly made fun of that
Yeah.
aspect. of Final
yeah.
Race.
Yeah.
What are our thoughts on that style of racing? Thank you for that, Smitty Warber Jaegerman Jensen. Appreciate that. By the way, if anybody wants to super chat us, that'd be great. And if you definitely want to get our attention and ask a question, super chat us. We will 100% answer those questions and comments. I got a little ahead of myself. We also have a Patreon. Please join our Patreon. You can Google Carbar's Patreon, or you can thank you for that ACR speed. He said your monthly schedule's killing me.
Damn.
I need more carbors. I know.
We have some
know.
stuff in the works.
We have a lot of stuff. We have a lot of stuff in the works. But I feel like we say that frequently. But this time
This time we got 80% in it.
that pot is bubbling over. So yeah, we have a Patreon. Come check that out. there's a bunch of stuff on there for as little as $3 a month. The other thing about Patreon, first of all, the people who are patrons, I love you guys. We really appreciate that support. But you don't have to be a patron forever. If you just want to show us some love and jump in there and view all the comment and then dip, you're not gonna offend us. So, however you want to play that one, Patreon is our main source of income at this point. That's really what is paying for gas and food,
bandwidth,
storage, and all that stuff. Thanks for that, Chris. You said maybe Brad is available for Jack Diamond.
and we still have as far as the Fieri Jay Leno, we still
Fieri Jay Leno hasn't happened.
We know that things are moving behind the scenes. They've been still in
moving.
contact, but we do not have a date yet. So.
Yeah, I feel like my fantasy is that it's because that episode's going to be so big.
Or they could potentially, it could be like heading towards the cutting room floor.
Yeah, the other thing is, what's funny about that, since Jay Leno's Garage is a legitimate outlet, which was a lot of fun just to see how they operate, because it was like, it's kind of big leagues.
Top notch.
But when they publish something, they clear every logo. That is.
Oh, I was going to talk about this too, but yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like because you're supposed to, and so like they had us. They cleared the Carbros logo, which was cool. But I was contacted a few times, like, did you get permission in your video to clear XYZ? No. But they were on top of clearing all that stuff. But the downside to that is we had you'll remember in the video.
We put all those fake sponsors on the car of a lot of companies that have gone out of business or at least pivoted. They're not successful, like Napster and Blockbuster Video. Babies R Us.
We've got all these fake companies on the car, and so I don't know if that was holding them up or what.
Yeah.
But I keep
through a wrench.
The poor intern who's in charge of getting the
I remember
Babies R
when we
Us
were filming, I was
clearance.
talking to the producers because I was they were laughing at them. They thought they were hilarious, and I was like, "Is it going to be okay to show these on TV?" And they were like, "We'll figure it out."
Work around.
I mean, in worst case, they could just blur it. But anyways, that still has not happened. But we will we will let you know. We are just as interested as you guys are. Also, finally, the
most importantly,
Jack Diamond's Garage mini series Kickstarter. It's 3 days away,
and it's close.
And we are close. As of right now, as of 5 minutes ago, we're at a little over $1,700 out of a $2,500 minimum goal. So if you were on the fence or meaning to do it or considering, allow this to be the gentle, this is do or die. So if you can find it in the bottom of your wallet to kick any money toward that, that would be awesome. So check that out. Once again, we're basically trying to make a 3-part series that is just a little bit more significant than what we've done in the past. It's more polished.
Longer.
It's longer. It's funnier. I don't know if it's more ambitious.
More diverse, I would say.
It's just better. It's not.
It's not fundamentally different. It's just,
I wouldn't
better.
think of it as three of our previous Jack Diamond episodes. It's gonna be more than that.
Yeah,
it's that character, but it's certainly gonna be more polished. So, anyways, check that out. That is due on Wednesday, I think. So we're hoping that happens because we're pretty excited about that. But if it doesn't happen, we'll figure something else out.
We'll pivot.
I don't even think about that. I don't even think there's no chance it's not going to happen in my mind. I know you guys won't let that. Okay, is that all the upfront stuff? Tokyo Drift threw me off.
We could talk about coronavirus
and
how we almost.
That's true.
Yeah, we're
all
risking
three
our
of us.
Yeah.
we've all tested positive.
John and I thought we had the Wuhan.
Yeah, it was right after the last podcast. I went down for a couple days.
John got some mild Wuhan.
Yeah, a fever and chills. Just
And then I
laid in
got
bed
some-
for like 3 days,
yeah.
and then coin went down a couple days.
And then
after
I got it.
I passed it on.
I never got it. So
Yeah, Garrett didn't
Yeah,
have it.
Garrett's
And
immune.
It's
I could
probably
be
because
patient
Garrett
zero.
didn't eat any of that bat soup
Yeah,
that John and I were eating. I knew we shouldn't eat.
we had a little midnight snack the night before.
I wanted to, but I thought I should.
Yeah, I got up
Guilty
really
pleasure.
late. It was midnight. I was looking through the fridge, and I thought that bat meat.
Yeah, looked a little funky, had some mold, but you just
It's been
eat
in there a
around
few
it.
weeks.
I
Yeah.
still went through it. Yeah. Anyways, you're welcome for us being here, despite
All the
Concerns.
scares. Yeah.
of the Wuhan virus. Okay, let me cross Wuhan jokes.
We tackled it.
So I think it was last podcast, or maybe the one before, I was talking about the most dangerous activity while driving, and I declared that it was trying to locate and potentially fix rattles or like buzzing sounds in your car, which I still stand by as being treacherous. But today, when I was driving down, I discovered an even deadlier activity to partake while driving, and that is killing or otherwise disposing of bugs that are in your car. like if there's like a spider
Or a fly?
or a fly, you would
Just roll down the
a
window.
fly you can let go. You
can just
know,
shush
it's
away.
like
Yeah.
shoot, there's a fly in
I feel
here.
like you've talked about the spider thing before.
Well, there was like a
this has been
hornet or something.
No, there was a spider. I thought you would try to kill it, and it like crawled in between some panel
I think
gaps.
that was a wasp or something.
Okay.
It was an unidentified thing.
Yeah.
But it didn't occur to me that was in fact how dangerous that was. And so this only happens when it's something that could potentially do some damage, like bite you or something. And yeah, let me just say there was a questionable looking bug thing in the car today, and I was in and out of my lane on the highway.
Hit some rumble strips.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah, so there's that. I mean, the thing is especially a spider, you can only see them for a few seconds. They're gonna go somewhere deep in the
Yeah.
cavern, where you're like vulnerable, and so you have to kill them quickly. This guy says that he's terrified of spiders, and he immediately pulls off the road if there's a spider in the car. Yeah, I was on the highway. I'm not gonna pull over.
I don't think I've ever seen a spider.
Better safe than sorry, bro.
You gotta deal with it in the moment.
Just throw a freaking bug bomb in your car and just
Yeah.
wait it out.
I have encountered a shit ton of fucking spiders while like trying to work on old cars.
Oh, yeah,
if you
that's-
like buy someone's like an
Yeah,
old project,
yeah.
you're like, oh fuck,
That one's gross.
that's a real. God damn.
Yeah, the web it's like, ooh, that's Black Widow web.
Yeah.
That web's
Let me just reach
strong.
my hand.
Yeah, let me.
I can't remember if I told this. I may have told you guys. I don't know if I told them when I like almost bought this van about a year ago.
Oh yeah.
And I had like a bunch of shit inside, and the guy was gonna like drive it over so I could look at it. And
Mm-hmm.
he called me. And he's like, "Yeah, when I was cleaning it out, I got bitten by a black widow, so I'm going to the doctor."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, all right. Well, let me
wanna
know."
come
So-
later?
Let me know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still interested.
I'll meet you there. Yeah, that guy probably died. Anyways, I thought that was worth mentioning. Here's another thing that happened to me. I washed the shit out of the 4Runner.
We've heard.
Yes.
John and I. Have
Yeah,
heard
we've been
quite a
hearing
bit of that.
details.
I gave them many details. This isn't really worth going into, other
No,
than
it's
the
not.
fact that
It started just as a wax, right? You were
I mean,
just-
I washed the car
and then you waxed it.
and then I clay barred it.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
And through the process of clay barring it, the paint got
You made it worse.
basically I just dug this big detailing hole, and
Yeah.
it's like when you're detailing something, it's like the deeper down you go, you can't just stop. You have to put something on the paint.
Right.
You have to put some sealant or wax. I mean, you don't have to, but it's like the more and more upfront shit you do, it's like you're just kicking the waxing process down
Yeah.
the road. So anyways, long story short, I spent like 4 days maybe.
Cutting and polishing.
Yeah, I did the full like DA polish on the 4Runner. The paint's amazing.
Yeah.
My brother had gotten me a orbital
Polisher.
kit
Yeah.
like a couple years ago, and I was just kind of afraid of it for some reason. And I watched some YouTube videos, and I was like, I'm gonna try this again because this 4Runner, it's like ideal car to practice on, and the paint is like better than the M5s now. It's amazing. Super good.
Got to do a pure video on the 400.
Yeah. I got one planned. Don't worry.
We still have that McGuire's polishing kit.
Oh, yeah.
That we won for
still in the box.
Yeah, it's still sitting there because I have a polisher already. So
Emergency.
Figure out what to do with that.
Yeah. I also, while I was driving down here, so I did all that work on the 400. Then I drove it down here. 3-hour drive. I hit a ton of bugs and it rained.
Yep. Solid.
That was its maiden voyage. Yeah. Anyways, here is my law for washing a car, which I think might only apply to me, but I can't fucking wash a car without accidentally squirting myself with the hose.
I do that all the time.
Like every time I lay that stupid, because it's like
Yeah, the little gun
the
trigger.
ground.
Yeah,
like
pops up.
every time I wash my car, I squirt myself with that thing. And so I think it's just a law that you have to hit yourself at least once.
Coins a lot.
Yeah, the coins law. But here's the other phenomenon that I noticed is that maybe, I don't know if you guys do this too, but if you go nuts washing your car, like inside, outside, whatever, or you smog it, either of those scenarios, at least I do.
Smog, you mean emissions test?
You do an
that
emissions
we have in
test.
California. Yeah.
Afterward, like during or afterwards, you're like, fuck, should I sell this thing?
I'm ready to hit the market.
Yeah,
Because it's like, it's clean as shit.
It's looking good.
Presentable.
yeah.
You know, and I assume it's the same anywhere in the country, or is that just California? You have to have a car smogged within.
It varies state to state.
Oh, does it? Well,
Yeah.
here, when you sell a car, it has to have been smogged in the last 90 days. It doesn't
Yeah.
have to,
Right.
Yeah.
But it's
Someone needs
Well, in
to.
order for the other person to register,
register
Right.
it,
Yeah.
it has to have been, and so it's supposed to be on the seller. But
Or you
people
have to do
use
it. Or
that.
you have to do it every 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so when it passes, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I should get rid of this thing. I got 90 days.
Cut loose.
Or when I wash it. So I'm like, this
You might as well just take some pictures and throw this up on Craigslist.
Yeah.
I might as well sell this damn thing. And that kind of passed through my head with the 4Runner. I love that car, but it was really clean. You know? It's like I'm not gonna clean it for 4 days when I
You should have
sell
at least
it.
just taken pictures and
Yeah.
saved them in case you do want to sell it a year from now.
I still might. The one thing I didn't do, I bought the equipment to do
Says
it.
he wants to get a Prius.
yeah. Upgrade.
I still stand by that call. It's a great car. Apparently, you can take a orbital to the windshield. I don't know if people. I didn't know this, but you can polish a windshield and get it to look like new. I mean, it doesn't matter if your car is new because the windshields are nice, but windshields get like gross over time. And I'd never done that before, but you can get glass polish in a specific pad and you can polish it to like optically perfect or very close to it. Because the problem with polishing paint is like it's very thin and there's clear coat sometimes. It's like, don't burn through the
Right.
Go
clear
too far.
coat or whatever. And it's like, I don't know if I should. But glass, it's just a windshield.
Yeah.
There's not, I don't think there's a coating on the outside of the glass. I think if there is a coating, it's on the inside. They have like UV coatings and stuff. But yeah, anyways, I'm excited to try that because you can polish it. You cannot fix a crack with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can polish it. So I'm excited to try that. Okay, I still don't have theme songs
Oh yeah,
for the segments.
it's on the to-do list.
Yeah. But new car news, which is kind of becoming a segment. There's a bit of new car news, but we don't care about most of it. But one thing that did catch our eye.
We kind of didn't we tease this on the last one? The 4-cylinder Supra.
Oh, that's right.
Kind of. It was
That's
It
right.
was rumored or something.
More Supra news.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Supra's a heavy hitter. So the 2021 Supra came out, and in addition to the four-cylinder, which is big news.
Big news.
Finally, people have been clamoring
Craving.
for a slower version of the Supra. They changed the straight six version after 1 year.
Yeah.
Like less than one. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, a year after it was debuted, but
9 months.
I think it's
into
been on sale since like fall.
Yeah, they gave it 40 more horsepower.
Something like that. Went from
I
like
think.
330 to 380 or something.
The thing is, though, so first of all, it's funny because it totally fucks over.
Yeah.
The joke is that
The launch edition is now like
they
worthless.
took a huge dump on
Yeah.
all the early adopters 9 months in. There's probably people still have that thing on their like waiting list.
Yeah.
Jeez. Ouch.
Especially if you paid a bunch of dealer markup.
Yeah,
I
like
got one of the first ones, baby.
15K over.
What?
I think that car is going to be consistently updated. Not significantly, but meaningfully updated every year.
So basically, never buy one.
Yeah,
Is what you're
just don't
saying.
buy one until the last year. That's my call.
Pro tip.
The other thing about those is, though, they dynoed at like 380 to the wheels or something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like
Well,
way
underrated.
Underrated,
Yeah.
yeah. And I don't think the brand new one is on the road yet, but I'd be curious to see if it actually was more powerful or what. They advertised a bit of a drop in the 0 to 60 time, so maybe. But yeah, I don't know. So maybe that won't be as big of a deal as they say it is. But they did do some hardware changes to the engine too, so that's kind of messed up. The other new car news. I don't know if this is really new car news. It's new car related.
Adjacent.
Yeah. And like this is kind of generic to make fun of, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Truck commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they're okay.
All right, here we
Get it off your chest.
Well, it's like sports cars are kind of the same way as trucks, where the vast majority of owners will never use it for what it's designed
Right.
for, you know. But sports cars are such a low volume product.
Yeah.
They sell like 2,000 a year or something. I don't even think they advertise them, do they? I
a lot of them they don't.
Not
they
really.
don't even
Yeah.
like, because you just know about them because
Yeah.
they're cool.
Yeah, people who buy them research them on their
Yeah.
own. Yeah.
And so it's like, haha, like even though they're still fun to drive slow, but it's like, yeah, a Corvette, you're never gonna
Launch it or
you're not even
take
gonna
it
drive
around
it
a
hard,
corner,
you know.
yeah.
But trucks are like just the same amount underutilized,
Right.
basically. I think it's something like 70% of truck owners will never haul
Oh yeah.
go off-road,
Go
or
off-road.
tow anything,
Right.
you know? And so it's like, it's fine, I don't care. But truck commercials
Yeah.
are just like...
They go all in on like
It's always
heavy
like,
duty.
They're like
It's like-
towing a boat off road.
Yeah.
This country was built on
Yeah. They're doing
hard-working boys.
They're doing like
like
60
you.
down a bumpy like dirt road.
You're a hard-working boy.
Towing a houseboat.
Yeah.
This is a country of boys.
Dropping steel beams from like 4 feet up for some reason. into
Drop
the
a
bed.
load into
Yeah.
the bed of your truck.
Yeah.
You're a big boy with your truck. It's like, but they sell like 1 million of these things a year. They sell the shit out of trucks.
Yes.
And so they must be working, but I don't know why it bothers me, because it's just like, get over yourself, please. I don't know. Does the Honda Ridgeline sell well? Do you know, or is that just kind of
It doesn't sell as well as like real trucks.
yeah? Does that
quote
like
unquote,
not bite?
but I think it does.
segment at all.
Yeah, I don't think it's really. It's not really seen as competition, but I think it does well for its. It's kind of like its own segment.
Its own little thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, it's like a small truck. It's like even less than a 1500, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why I suspect that the Cybertruck has a chance of actually selling a ton, because people are like, no one's gonna buy. Truck people don't. It's like, truck people is a myth. Truck people is probably like 100,000 trucks a year.
Well, I think the biggest problem with the Cybertruck is that thing looks like unwieldy as fuck to drive around. Like
You think so? I think it's too
a
big.
Ridgeline is like an Odyssey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's any bigger than an F-150.
I'm just curious, like, what the turning radius is on. Like, if you're gonna have to like fucking 3-point everything or what. But
don't see why it'd be any
I think
worse
that's
than
the
a
biggest
regular
thing that would
truck.
limit it from like the urban crowd. Park this in my condo's parking lot.
I'm curious to see how that thing does, but I think the truck market is like pretty up in the air. It just comes down to if it's cool to own.
The truck market seems pretty brand loyal. Like
Yeah.
it seems pretty rare for someone who's like bought an F-150 for the past 10 years to cross lines, even to Chevy or.
We're about to find out.
I know.
I am so
we'll see how it goes,
so
yeah.
curious about that thing. They should make an advertisement for it. I know Tesla doesn't do commercials, but it'd be sweet if it was just like,
Yeah,
are you a
fucking
big boy? They just do the same kind of dropping logs into the back of the same fucking thing. Yeah. Okay, this is not new car. This is newish car.
Contemporary.
New used, new certified pre-owned.
Yeah, this is like
CarMax.
Yeah.
this is certified pre-owned car news. But the M4. How did this start? You just saw one?
I was just behind one, like one of the, it's just kind of aggressively driving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like, I don't know if it just had a cat back or
Oh,
downpipe or
okay.
some
Something.
little something.
Yeah, some little
It was
extra.
It was very loud.
A
Yeah.
little extra spice.
And it was whatever, dual clutch or whatever, not a stick.
Yeah.
But just those cars, they just don't. They sound like very generic.
Yeah.
Like it's probably like one of the most generic sounding performance cars out there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I was
pretty
thinking
bad.
it sounds like a synthesizer. Like if you're like making like a cheap video game.
Yeah, it sounds like
It's
when
like
they
we need like adjust the pitch of this engine noise.
yeah, when they like pipe in engine sound,
That's what it actually says.
but it's like the exhaust sounds like that. And when those were new, people gave it a bunch of shit because the outgoing one was like a high revving V8.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And so it was like, that's hard to beat sound wise. But they really do sound bad. I remember being like, "Get over yourself!" Like,
I mean, I wouldn't say it
that
sounds
bad.
bad.
It's
It's
not
just like
bad.
ultra generic.
But it's
You're not like, damn.
Yeah,
it's
you would.
that.
I've literally never heard one. That I liked.
No.
Yeah, pleasing tone.
The M2 has the same motor, and it doesn't. I don't know what they did. It doesn't sound as bad, but it's still not too bad. I mean, it's still not too very good.
I think it doesn't help that all three of us own V8 cars, and like Garrett and I, like our daily drivers are V8s,
There's
and so
some-
like when you're used to hearing that every day.
Now
and-
I don't know what they did because it's straight six.
A straight
Right.
six should sound fucking sweet.
Yeah, it's like straight six turbo.
But the turbo on it probably like whatever the twin turbo system.
yeah, but like Supras and stuff.
I don't know. I mean, we were watching that Formula One, and that's a V6
Yeah.
twin
Maybe
turbo.
it's because they don't rev that high. I don't know.
No, well, I don't know what it is, and I'm guessing there's probably a technical reason, like the firing order
Yeah.
or
Right.
something.
Unburnt fuel.
But the straight six in the Supra is very related, but not the same one.
Yeah.
And those sound way better. Those sound like good.
Yeah.
Good, even like awesome. And the old M2 had that motor, and those sounded good. And then they upgraded to the M3 motor, and they sound. I don't know what it is. I don't know what the technical reason.
Lena says it's the headers.
I was gonna say it's
Is
probably
it?
it's probably the headers. I mean, that's
Yeah,
probably
it's
the
kinda-
defining factor of what turbo cars sound like.
Yeah. Maybe that's what. Yeah,
I
maybe
think you
that's
just
what
notice it more
is.
because that's the kind of car that people drive. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
listen to this, baby.
And they drive more aggressively too than just putting around.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, like 335i's or something like those sound good. Like any of those, not I don't know, cheaper header, whatever. That's interesting. Is it?
Just got to go unequal length heather, bro.
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Get that
It's
Subi
basic.
rumble.
Because they use two turbos. We really need to get Lena to just
I know.
Skype into
Fuck
this.
yeah. Just fucking do it.
Lena, pull up. She comes down on
It's
it.
like the on-site correspondent or something. Let's
Yeah.
go out to Lena
Going
in
out
the
to
field.
the field.
Yeah.
She's at CarMax.
Back to the studio.
Sitting in a Chevy Traverse.
The dash is very rough.
Give us the knock on that dash for us. Anyways, they sound real bad. They sound bad. I like the look of those cars a lot. I think not the 4, but the 3, the 4-door
Sedan,
one.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think those look great. It's like they're solid. They're expensive, but it's just like reliable, fast,
Right.
good looking, but not outrageous. It's like they're dope, but they sound like stupid. So I don't really know what to do with that. The E46 didn't sound good either. People idolize those. Those things sounded like shit, man.
Yeah, I don't have enough experience hearing them.
Oh, dude, they're raspy as fuck. Maybe next podcast we'll bring that on there. I'm sure people will be like, "No, they sound super good." It's like they don't sound good. The way to do those cars is you like keep the stock exhaust and just put like open intake. Yeah, the intake sounds awesome, but the exhaust is like I don't know what the deal with that thing is. They sound real bad. Cool cars. I mean, they're dope. Okay, I think that's it for medium new car news. Oh no. Oh, this is somewhere in the middle. Okay, I'm just gonna give up the fact that I'm gonna stop trying to force this into a segment
For no reason whatsoever.
Here's something else. Maybe 2 weeks ago, this started from Bring a Trailer. I went down a Bring a Trailer hole, which I don't mind anymore. I feel like
It is what it is.
Those therapy sessions really helped.
Well, here's what I think happened. I think through a number of factors, which we don't need to go into, the price of a number of cool used cars ramped up.
Oh, that's right. We were going to talk about that Datsun last time, but we never.
Oh yeah,
got
we
to it.
can. Yeah, we could. That's a good example. But the price of a number of used cars just kind of like got a rapid rise over maybe like 4 years or something. Pretty fast.
Maybe even less than that.
Yeah, maybe even less. It did a little burp. And Bring a Trailer pissed me off while we were on the
incline
slope.
Yeah,
because it was like
they were just fueling the fire.
Yeah, and it's kind of meh. It's kind of leveled off a bit. Where there's still some stuff that's like, yeah, it's overpriced, but I think whatever this plateau is, I'm like used to it.
People are really shredding your downtown setting.
We'll get to that. I'm sure there's some downtown stories later.
I'm gonna force one in there now.
The downtown segment is
So I'm
coming
in a
up.
coffee shop downtown.
People are
downtown
bustling
setting.
about.
It's busy. People are poking in and out of shops.
Yeah, it's probably like four people.
People are
per-
sipping
4
artisan
people walk by the window per hour.
Transactions.
Yeah.
I'm walking down the street. I have a baguette. I stop and admire a man painting something.
Yeah,
It's downtown, you know.
everyone who
I
knows.
put some quarters in the meter.
Yeah,
You know, people know me. I'm kissing babies. and
right.
I'm a pretty big deal.
Just a usual Tuesday.
Yeah, a guy's making sauce and I taste it. You know?
Need a couple more bay leaves in that.
Yeah, a woman gives me some fresh
You're wearing a
herbs.
beret.
Yeah, it's downtown setting. The fuck was I talking about?
Bring a trailer.
Oh
Bring a
yeah,
trailer.
so I was on Bring a Trailer at a coffee shop in a downtown setting, stealing the free Wi-Fi.
Right.
So I got a drip coffee at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's now 3 p.m. I've done about 6 gigs worth of internet
Taking
surfing on
2 shits in the back.
Starbucks Wi-Fi. They're sampling coffee for free. I'm trying it.
Yeah.
I'm contributing.
Yeah, you brought your own
know?
cup, so you get the free refills.
I'm helping the establishment.
You're finding inspiration
Yeah.
from the things around you.
I'm basically wall art. I've pumped $2 worth of revenue into this place and sucked. You know, every coffee shop owner's dream. Some loser mooch off their Wi-Fi all
Can
day.
I get the restroom key again?
Yeah. Can I get a refreshed Wi-Fi password? Anyways, I'm on Bring a Trailer, and I came across a little-known car called a Porsche 911.
Ooh.
And I started looking at the 993, which is like, I don't know the years, but 90 something to 90 something. I'm just gonna take a guess.
It says 94 to 98.
Sure.
Well, there you go.
There it is. And so I was like, ooh, hold on, like this thing's kind of neat. Like I mean, truly, I've not really cared about Porsche like much at all.
Yeah.
Ever. I just didn't care about them. And then, honestly, the 918 was the first one I ever drove.
little introduction.
I think that was the first one I ever drove.
It's kind of like buying a 1,000cc motorcycle as a starter bike. Just going balls in.
And so I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I think I get what this brand's
I can
about.
see what they're going for. I can like this.
I consider myself a aficionado, but I don't know why, if they're just too expensive, or I was turned off by the because they had their own like earlier than everything else, and I was turned off by that. I don't know, but I never really cared about them. But I have since driven a couple of the like cool ones,
Modern.
and what really did it is I'm working on another pure video of a GT2 RS, which I don't know. Bring that up if people don't know what that is. It's basically just like the fastest 911 they make right now. It's just like it's like the GT500 analog, but Porsche makes it. And so I'm working on this pure video, and part of making this video was I've just been staring at this car and like being around it for hours, day after day. I mean, hours. And
Checking out the welds and like the underbody and everything.
Yeah, I'm getting real intimate with this thing.
Remember when I pointed out the Volkswagen?
Yeah. There's some Volkswagen.
They're like one of the sensors on the oil pan had a Volkswagen logo, which Garrett pointed out for me. But I kind of fell in love with the thing. I mean, that's another over-the-top car, but it's just like, dude, this company, like the amount of just engineering on that car, and just every angle of it. And it was like that car kind of got me interested. It piqued my interest.
He's officially a Porsche.
I don't really...
Gotten all the swag, the hats.
And so anyways, I was looking at a 993, and specifically, like I don't know a ton about them, but they make two kind of versions of the body for most 911s, the 4-wheel drive ones / turbo ones, which are like wider hips. And then the 2-wheel drive are kind of like, the bitch ones.
Svelte.
Yeah. And the 993, they made a rear-wheel drive 2S, which is the bigger body, but rear-wheel drive only. And I was like, damn, these things are cool, And so I was looking into them, and it's like, oh, these are like one of the first to...
Boom.
Yeah, I'm at the very last...
Yeah.
You're the last guy to jump on the pile.
I'm like
You're a little late to the party.
Yeah, I'm like the hermit who finally gets a like phone line to their house or something. Like super late. This ends up being like the car that everyone wants. But geez, this is a long story. It's not much of a payoff for people either. I'm sorry. The downtown setting was the peak. No, I was looking online because I was like, well, let me go on YouTube and do some, armchair research.
Yeah.
Half the fun of getting into a new car is fantasizing about buying it, looking at YouTube videos.
Yeah, learning
not buying it.
Yeah.
Not buying it, and then getting bored of it, and you never even had to own the thing.
Like, it's not that bad. It's not that great after all. Yeah. I don't need to buy it.
Thank you, Internet. Yeah, getting pissed at a few auctions that end for more money than you have, and pretending like you would have been on it if it was 10% lower.
Lena just schooled you in the chat.
I'm not even gonna read it.
She's right.
Okay. So I came across a video, which was probably not a good idea. I shouldn't have gone down this path, because part of what got us to not like Porsche was the fans are a little over the top. It's kind of the ultimate like you just gotta drive. It's a Porsche thing. That kind of thing.
Was it was it the people we ran into at the Quail, and he was like, I put it through my friend owns like some GT3 RS, and I got the opportunity to put it through its paces.
Yeah, we're walking past some people, and some guy was talking about his like borrowed Porsche, and just everyone's trying to flex. It's just like ugh. And so I came across this video of a guy reviewing this car, the 2S or whatever.
993.
Yeah, and I just realized I'm not even gonna feel real bad because I'm not even gonna like give him a shout out. I'm just about to like. This guy. Porsche videos from Williams Crawford. There he is. Shout out to this guy. He's got 1,000 subs, but I don't want to steal his thunder. So, anyways, I made a little super cut of this video for your viewing pleasure before we get to the part that I actually wanted to talk about. So, enjoy this 30 seconds of Williams Crawford. Typical.
And today, I'm going to bring you a really special car. It's a Porsche 911, of course. Now, the first thing you'll see, polyurethane turbo-style alloys. Now, a few other things. These cars would share the same suspension, M030. From my memory, that was only on Vesuvius, metallic grey gear knob, handbrake lever. The shape of the doors, got the grey on the doorsteps. That's a 911 door shut-in. That's the way to buy them. Buy one that's in great shape.
All right, Paul.
Is he like the British Doug DeMuro?
I don't know. This is this is the only video I've seen.
We have to say Carburetor is getting very Anglophobic.
Yeah.
That's a proper 911 door shutting. He goes on to say, it should sound like a guillotine. Like, what?
Yeah, I know what that sounds like. Yeah, I've been to many beheadings in my
It
life.
should sound like a guillotine cutting a cantaloupe.
Cutting a peasant's head off. Someone who's too poor to afford such a...
Oh, this door shutting noise. Mental. The bloke who penned this. Anyways, so I was like, the video is fine. I shouldn't have cut it like that.
You regret nothing, let's be honest.
Yeah, I cut this like 20 seconds before we started. So this is the part I originally wanted to...
This is what he really wants to make fun of.
he drives the thing, and this quote just slayed
Stuck
me.
with you,
Yeah, go for it.
Here it is.
I hope you know.
Those boffins in Stuttgart can try all they like to create a good modern sound, or a good sound out of a modern 911, but there's nothing like the authentic sound of an air-cooled Porsche.
Wow. Damn. Boy. Damn.
Impressive. Yeah.
Need I say more?
Sit the fuck down.
I'm sold. Sign me up.
So I don't know if you caught that intro part. He said, those boffins in Stuttgart. Try as they may to make a better sound than that. Shit.
It's legendary.
Good luck. Maybe pick a better car if you're going to talk about the...
Or maybe just don't cruise at like 45 miles an hour down a fucking B road. Maybe like, get on it or downshift or something.
This is a proper exhaust sound. Can't even fucking hear it.
Yeah.
The like static from the mic amplifiers. Like. So anyways, I cut it together with a modern GT3 exhaust just to
see what the latest from the boffins.
There's boffins. Sand dunes.
It's like he's playing fucking Grand Theft Auto.
Damn, it's getting it. I love videos like that too, where they just like they'll cut, but it's like he was kind of headed for it.
Yeah.
You probably like tore off his bumper.
Yeah, you like maybe he didn't hit anyone, but he's like kind of losing it a little bit at the end, and his buddy just like, I'll just go ahead and like pull the video back just to the part where you look heroic. Oh man,
There's both.
Yeah. Oh, those boffins in Stuttgart. Anyways, why was I talking about that? I mean, I want one. Oh, that's right. I looked up and they're like 70 grand or something. They're super expensive. They're already, the wave has already hit them. I'm late. So I guess I'm over them. Is that what I'm trying to say? Yeah, kind of. I think I'm over the Porsche 911.
Your Porsche days are over.
Well,
You moved on.
I was into Porsche for about 2 weeks.
Dipped your toe.
About
It
2.5
wasn't for you.
months, yeah.
Chris, Thanks for that. He says, he sent us $2. Put this towards fake teeth if we ever do a British video. I think it means another British video. Because if you remember the Monterey.
Yeah, the Monterey one was the start of that. Ew.
Our worst character.
This is the way. Yeah, that was when I knew something needed to change. Car Bros. Videos aren't even trying to make sense anymore. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know why. I just thought that was super funny. Like.
Because it is super funny.
Yeah, I guess I do know why. Okay. Is that the end of middle car news? Now we're moving into old car news. So I think
An LS 460 is kind of.
Huh? Oh, it's down
unless
a
that's
little bit.
unless that's a separate.
That's old car news.
Yeah,
Okay.
come on, bro.
Fine.
Yeah.
Even though we just talked about like a 1990.
93.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes up to 98.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay, so I don't know why this came up. I think because I was like fawning over the Forerunner, which is, I think we can all agree, pretty fabulous.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
One of the most inspiring engines ever put.
You just never see them anymore.
podcast worthy car that we should talk about. So I'm cruising downtown now. I think because I was appreciating that motor, it's not remarkable in its performance, but they last forever. And then I was like, man, a lot of Toyota motors like last for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, man, Toyota actually makes some pretty sweet performance motors. Like everyone goes a little crazy for the Supra, like the 2JZ. But like they had some pretty killer
Some
stuff.
bangers.
Yeah, they had some slappers in the 90s, like
In the 80s.
the 3S, yeah, in the 80s. And I was like, man, then that V8 they made also for the LS.
The original, the 1UZ.
Yeah,
the
I was like,
LS.
damn, the 1UZ was like pretty awesome too. I was like, fuck, Toyota actually made like a bunch of good, like
Get it done.
awesome, reliable, bomb-proof. I mean, even still, I don't know. Their stuff now is kind of weak, except for that, whatever the V8 they make now is,
And the Supra.
the 1GR.
Yeah, and the engine
That's
on
not
the
their
Supra.
motor.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was like, damn, all the Japanese stuff, maybe not all, but most Japanese motors in the 90s were just like fucking legendary.
Yeah.
Like, how many of them can you name from any manufacturer? Like, all the Nissan stuff was awesome, which we talked about, how they, like, used to make good motors.
Yeah, they're good ones.
And then all the Honda stuff, which is, like, a whole
It's all pretty good.
subculture
Yeah.
has spawned.
Right.
Because, the Toyota stuff I just mentioned, Mitsubishi had, like, 1.5 good one.
They try.
What was that one called? The 4A GE?
4G63.
4G63. Oh, yeah, 4A was Toyota. And then the 3000 GT one was like
I don't know.
6 something. It wasn't as popular, but like it was still decent.
Sure.
But it was like, man, how many motors do you give a shit about now? Or can you even like name the...
Well, I mean, American stuff you can.
Yeah, because they're still good.
I think the thing is like 90s American motors were shit and Japanese ones overshine them. And so now
Yeah.
American motors have like, stepped up their game and actually now they're good.
I mean, I don't know if it's emissions or what, but it's like, what does Honda have? It's like, oh, the 1.5
Yeah, just like
turbo. Yeah,
K24.
Well, they all just kind of make the same thing now.
Yeah, it's just that's kind of like commodity.
Right.
But it's really making me appreciate. I mean, I know that the 90s nostalgia stuff is, I don't know if it's peaking. It's probably going to get worse. But they really just were some awesome, tunable, easy to work on motors
They're all
with...
fairly reliable. Well, not the Mitsubishi ones. but
Yeah. So the ones were...
Maybe not the Subarus.
The ones we're nostalgic about.
Yeah.
But with just a ton of character too. That's the other thing. They're all so different from each other. It's really making me think that
Do you remember the kind of what was it, like the 1.8 liter V6 Mazda.
Oh yeah,
Was
I
it
don't remember what
1.8?
that's called.
The MX-3.
I think so. I think it was 1.8. The MX-3 V6.
Fuck, I kind of want one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of F1 inspired. I think that's what they were going for.
1.8 liter V6.
Yeah.
Damn.
People are giving the 3000 GT shit.
Thumbs
Is
down.
it the K8, the 1.8 liter K8?
Ooh, that
If
sounds.
if it's a V6, then yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, it's one of the smallest production V6 engines
Oh
ever.
hell yeah! Damn.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That's true. Mazda didn't really make anything good.
Well, they had a rotary, but that was
The
kind of
rotor
its
is a
own
big
thing.
deal.
The Miata engine was alright.
Oh yeah.
But that was kind of like a Ford.
Was it?
Mazda and Ford back then were tight.
Neck and neck.
Yeah.
Or-
Well, I mean, like the
Best
motors were
buds,
like
yeah.
shared.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Somebody said that people will be talking about the character cars had in the 2000s. I just don't.
I think like the ones that were good had a lot of character, but like most of the regular ones.
Yeah.
We're
didn't.
talking about like
Normal.
commuter shit.
Right.
That had like good motors and stuff. I don't know. Something about the 2000s. Although cars that I specifically recall thinking were kind of dumb looking in the mid 2000s, I'm starting to think are okay.
When they
like a Prius.
When they were new, you mean?
Yeah, when they were new, I remember thinking like, it's not as good. And it's like, they're not too bad.
The Prius.
So I don't know. Yeah, the Fit. It's funny. The Fit is like not the new one, but the 2014. That's kind of like the last of like old guard Honda to me for some reason. Like if you wanted to like build a Honda or something, it's like that's kind of the newest you can go.
Yeah.
Like you could do a Fit with like a K24 swap
K24. Yeah.
and not. I feel like you could own that and not be associated with the
Yeah.
like Civic hatchback,
Right, the old school.
kinda
Yeah. The
crowd.
Tuner
a little
crowd.
bit. Yeah, it's like it's new enough to where you're separated from them, but it still has that total kind of Honda whatever feel. So I don't know, but the new Honda stuff doesn't really.
Besides the Type R. I mean, I still like the Type R.
I don't know. I like the Type R, but I was just thinking I really like the CRV. I really like the Accord.
Yeah.
It's really grown up.
Yeah, I should have thought this through a little more. Anyways, the point is, I'm starting to appreciate Toyota's stuff a bit more.
Well, they even had a lot of engines that never made it here that were like even better.
Really?
I mean,
I guess the 1JZ. What else?
well, the
was
1JZ,
good?
there's the Beams 3SG, like Yamaha
that
developed.
super pimped out one.
Yeah, naturally aspirated. There was like a bunch of like cool twin turbo inline sixes in the 80s that they made.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Solid period.
And there's the with the 2ZZ,
What's that?
like Celica GTS, Lotus Elise.
How do you feel about those? The Celica GTS,
It's all right. I could see
The like early 2000s one?
the like extreme.
the engine's cool. The rest of the car is kind of.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah.
weak.
I think I'd rather have a Matrix or a Vibe
Oh damn!
with that engine.
With that same engine.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matrix is actually Matrix is actually aging pretty well.
The Matrix.
Yeah, Celica doesn't really do it for me.
It's just a little too sporty.
I think it's because it's too much for me.
The Spider is cool.
It's a little too extreme. Those really never got their day.
No.
Speaking of the Matrix,
MRT
I had a
Spider.
coworker who owned one, and I overheard him on a phone call. He was like calling a shop, and he was like, "Hey, I just wanted to call and bring in my car and do an oil change, just like a quick tune-up and stuff like that." And then they obviously asked him like what kind of car he has, and he goes, "Oh, it's a 2008 Toyota." And like he like didn't know what fucking kind of car he has, and he
Damn.
goes, "It's the hatchback," and they were like. He was like, "No, it's
Sienna?
not." Yeah, he's like, "It's not that one. It's not that one." And then they're like, "Oh yeah, Matrix." And I was just like, "God, man, this shop's just gonna fucking bend him over." Like, he doesn't even fucking know what he has.
Yeah, I don't really care if people don't know anything about their car. Like, you don't really have to. But in that case,
Yeah.
it's like they're just like, oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, it's not the Yaris. It's not the yeah."
Oh, the problem with those is they have 30 spark plugs. we're gonna have to change them all.
6 plugs per cylinder.
Turns out they're all fucked up. Yeah, it's a good thing you brought it in when you did. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Okay, let's bring it back. Anyways, the 90s. 90s Japanese stuff. It's going to be popular.
Yeah.
I'm calling it now.
Speaking of which,
90s Japanese stuff and Porsche. Get on the wagon, people.
before anyone else,
You heard
Get
it
in
here.
early.
This
Yeah.
is the ground floor.
Yeah, speaking of which, we're talking about the aforementioned like cars blowing up on Bring a Trailer. The Integra Type R is one of those. The DC2
Yes.
Those things
98
have exploded.
to the
Right.
1.
The Type R.
Which makes me feel that the GSR of that same style is like pretty fucking underrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, let's be honest, if you were blindfolded, you probably couldn't tell which
Probably
one you were
not.
driving.
At least like 95% of people would not be able to.
It's the same motor.
Yeah, it's like with different cams.
Yeah.
With some like higher
Like
end
15
cam
more horsepower
and
or
some like
something.
seam welding. It's like it's cool.
right.
I came very close to buying a Type R before the M5 when a nice one was like low 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I think that'd be a cool car to have in a collection.
Yeah, but it's just to drive it around is pretty underwhelming.
But as like your only special car.
But a GSR though.
But a GSR.
Because you can still, as far as I know, you can still get like a pretty nice stock or like nearly stock one for like $4,000 to $6,000.
Yeah. You can get a nice.
They're getting fewer, but they still exist.
And they're starting to go up, but they haven't really caught the. It's because so much of the value of things is based on the like perception,
the culture.
or whatever. Yeah, and people
Yeah.
just haven't.
Just
they-
the nostalgia, yeah.
I think they will pop.
Yeah.
Because people just haven't determined. It's like the ingredients are there. It's the same fucking car as a Type R. It's the same. If you actually gave a shit about how.
Well, I mean,
Type
like
R
there's a
drove.
lot of cars like you could say like a GT350 and a Mustang GT or many other like the top version versus the normal. There's a pretty big delta, but those not so much.
No. Yeah.
It's like 15% more horsepower or something. Like
you
100
get-
less pounds.
And you get leather.
Yeah.
Leather in a
Yeah.
GSR. Damn. Sumptuous.
I was gonna say I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure the Preludes, like they've just hit fucking rock bottom, right? They're just too rare.
Yeah,
Like,
they
there's
were
not
never
nice ones.
There was never too many of them. around
Right,
to begin
exactly.
with.
They never sold well, so all the ones that exist still have just been trashed.
What was the? I think it was the last Prelude with the kind of like
Oh,
square headlight
yeah.
looking
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
The 9701.
Yeah, those always held. They're for nice ones. I don't want
Well, that's
one, but
yeah, they held because all of those were H22s.
Maybe.
Whereas the previous ones, like only the top end one was the good motor.
I remember bring up that like blue if you can find it. There's that like that specific like blue
Oh,
color of the like.
Wasn't it the same color as the 2000 Civic Si? Isn't that the same?
Electron blue.
Is it? I'm
don't
not
know.
sure, but it was like that was the one to have. It was like Type SH or something. I can't remember those. Those like
Damn GSR.
yeah. If you can find a picture of a stock one, which good luck.
I mean, here's just
Those never really got like janky.
yeah.
But I don't know if I don't know. Actually, I could see that. That I feel like for some reason that had like a cult following.
Something about those cars have always felt like too big for what they are.
They were kind of GT-ish.
Like if you
Yeah.
look at that, you'd be like, oh, what does that have? Like a straight six rear wheel? Like
Right,
It's like,
yeah.
no, it's a front wheel. It's like an Accord.
it was big block though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Big bore.
2.2 big.
That's true. That's true.
Fired up.
Displacement, yo.
Yeah, they had to put 2 starter motors on that thing. That's what I heard.
My mechanic told me
The rotating assembly. Yeah, I just took mine into the shop.
down at Midas.
He had to replace all 4 starters on it. It's wild. You gotta pay
12 new plugs.
You gotta pay to play. Pay to play.
I like the fourth gens better than
Yeah,
these.
I do. I like the look of them still, but they're just so hard to find a nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never really had the.
Should have kept mine. Damn.
They never really had the like
Because Senna developed the fourth gen.
wide.
Famously
Senna famously got into one accidentally
during a marketing
when
event.
he was leading a press conference, and then immediately got out of it. So he had something to do with the development of one. Yeah, these things are kind of GTR-ish a little bit. Okay. Anyways, GSR. GSR
on my-
Porsche.
Yeah, get in now. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the cars we would own if we didn't care about theft might be a little different because it's like
That's
GSR.
a very big.
Yeah.
Dude, if you had a clean GSR,
If I get a 3-car garage,
Or just a
shit.
bigger garage, yeah. Or like
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny how much the storage really affects like what you own.
Yeah.
'Cause,
If you had a hangar.
dude,
full
I would
of
have.
Saturns.
I see now, not even like if I was a billionaire. It's like now I would.
It's like you can go buy one for $5,000.
Yeah, I'd probably have 5 or 6 cars that were all in the like under 10,000
Yeah.
range. Just because you have the space for them. But when you have to have 1 or 2, it's way different. It's a bummer. It's a shame. Okay.
Actually, the problem with that is like there's been a lot of times when I only have a 2-car garage and like I've had a cheap car. What it sucks is that like the cheap car is the one that you don't want to park outside as fucked up as it is.
The cheap car is like older usually.
Yeah, like
and,
I would theoretically it'd be better to have my Mustang parked outside and like a GSR in the garage.
Yeah.
Even though like
Yeah.
one of them is worth like
10.
10 times as much.
Yeah. Well, that's why
Because like people aren't like people just don't really fuck with expensive cars.
Well, are you talking about safety?
No,
or
no,
just to
no.
keep it nice?
No,
because
just
it's
like
already...
mostly the
Just
fear,
theft.
fear of theft.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Either someone's stealing the whole car.
Like if you have a Miata, like you can't park a Miata outside in a lot of places because like
they'll just slash the roof.
they'll either steal it or slash the roof.
Oh,
just
really?
Just because older cars are easier to steal in general.
I see what you mean. I thought you meant because, like, if you buy an older car that's in nice condition, it's like, well, you can't now park it outside.
well, that too, but it's more like
You're
you,
talking about
like
theft.
you need the space dedicated. Like the cheaper car needs to go in the garage because it's more tempting to thieves.
So you get like a $3,000 Civic hatchback.
Right,
It's
exactly.
Like, better put it in the
Exactly.
garage.
Yeah. While you park your $25,000 Mustang GT in the driveway.
Yeah, people don't really steal those. I see what you mean. Yeah. Good point. Okay. Moving forward a decade. So the LS, have we talked about just how, in general, this is one of the cars I would own.
The
If I had-
Lexus LS.
Yeah, the Lexus LS, like all of them, that's such a sweet car, and it's such a, it's like it's boring, I guess, if you have no personality, but the early ones are awesome because they're such a big deal, and then the 98, bring up a 98 to 2000. What?
I'm just looking at that picture.
This is a good looking car. So 98 was when they.
Yeah, that's the best.
This is actually like the
Peak.
Yeah, maybe that top right. God damn.
Two-tone though.
Look at that. Look at that thing.
Damn.
This is actually the third iteration, even though it looks like the first one. So they came out with the first
been more
one.
That second one's kind of weak, huh?
Yeah, they came out with the first one, and then they refreshed it in the mid '90s, and then they refreshed
They
it.
didn't even really refresh. There's like let's like angle the headlights.
Well,
a
even
little
this
bit.
one. So this is
Well,
the
this one-
third.
this one
So,
looks
oh yeah,
good.
that's good. So that bottom white one, yeah,
That's
that.
a first, isn't it?
First or second? I'm not even sure.
I can't see. Make it bigger.
So this,
that-
see, I don't. It's probably like subtle, like bumper.
Put in a 96 at last one.
If you're listening only,
you're
you're staring at pictures of the Lexus LS 400 on. Yeah, that's
Yeah, see that
that top middle one.
Yeah,
second gen.
Wait, what'd you say? 96. So that is
Yeah.
second.
that bottom left.
Okay. Anyways, we all know what these look
At
like
any-
by
at
at
any
this
rate.
point. Any enthusiast knows.
That's not bad.
It's fine. I mean, they're
98's
fine.
are cooler.
And so that's the second gen, we're guessing, because they're so similar. And then the third gen is the original one, that you had up there.
The 98.
Yeah, 98. Bring that.
This.
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, that's the third iteration of this design. And they just got slammed because it was like, dude, fucking change the look.
Yeah.
No one can tell they have bought a new car.
Yeah, there's no reason to upgrade when it's the same fucking.
Yeah, and so it's like they're making changes. It got more power and variable valve timing
transmission.
and transmissions and all that stuff. And it's like they're fixing stuff and it's more reliable. But it looks the same. But if you know what you're looking at, this is actually kind of cool because it's
It's
like
a perfect specimen.
yeah, it's boring, but like they did change some things. It does have a cool look. So those are cool. And then the ones after that, probably my favorite one is the 05, I think.
The 01 to 05.
But specifically the 04 and 05. refresh on these things. Man, this is like podcast of my dreams. Finally, we're oh baby,
Oh boy.
oh boy. 2004, 2005 Lexus LS4
400.
30
430.
at this point. Yeah. That thing is just like that thing is like the pinnacle of like stately old boring Lexus driver. You know, it's like these things just they're built like a bank vault.
Smooth ride.
They ride like a tomb, you know, build quality like out the yim yow. And so like these things are awesome. But they were boring or whatever. Like that was the complaint, is that it's like it's a boring old man car. And then this is about the time late 2000s really when Lexus started trying to get like cooler, which has been financially
The Predator grill.
a success. Yeah, this is the
A little more pizzazz.
early seeds of the Predator grill. Those Lexus are cheap as shit right now too. That's the other thing. I think they look awesome, but they are at the bottom.
Yeah.
And they are one of the most reliable cars on the road. So
So your 4Runner would be one of those.
I would, man. I don't know.
And a
if I'd rather-
GSR.
I don't know if I'd rather have that than the 4.
I'd way rather have this.
Yeah.
Sell the M5
unless-
and get that.
But I don't go off-roading or anything, so I don't give a
I
shit.
don't really either, though. I don't need.
Adventuring.
Yeah, we don't need to debate it on this cast. Anyways, that's one. I would have one if I had the room because they're fucking $5,000.
But at that, I feel like you could park outside. Well, you wouldn't want to, but
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I like keeping shit nice and treating it nicer than I treat my own body. Yeah, you know. Okay, so then the one after this was the 430. The
460.
460 is
06.
when they went a little crazy. They tried
Not
to
by
make
modern
it
standards, but
no, but it's just like they tried to make it more. They tried to make it sportier, and so you get like a huge bump in power. I think that 05 was like. I don't know what it is, but like mid 200s, 280
that's probably like,
horsepower or
285,
something.
290.
And then these were like 360 or something. Way more aggressive, way faster, and awesome. like sweet and like cool looking. I think the front is okay, but like the back of these things I think is super good looking. God damn. Look at that. Yeah.
Damn.
Mid to late 2000s Lexus, pretty solid. I feel like I've said that before, but like the GS, you get a GS 430, and then you can also get, this is a very little known car, but you get a GS 460.
Oh, right. For like a year or two.
Yeah, they made like 1,000 of them, and it's not that much different. It's not like, whoa, it's like crazy motor, but it's faster. It's the bigger V8 in the older style. Those things are pretty sweet. Those are like mid to high teens maybe. Damn. So anyways, the whole reason we brought this up is
How did we find this?
I think years ago I was going down my little like fantasy research route about a LS460, and I came across this early Motor Trend review of the 460. And the photo, and they were talking about like the performance, like it's actually like fast now, but the fucking photos that they used in this review are like ridiculous. Yeah, bring that up.
Fucking getting it.
Like, what?
Full power slide, opposite lock.
This is a dude in a 06, I think, LS460.
Like a
doing,
prototype.
doing like, there's like one in existence. He's doing like full opposite lock drift.
That's like the actual Lexus development team driving it, isn't it?
probably.
Oh, is it?
I think.
I thought it was like the dude in Motor
Well,
Trend.
I'm not sure who it is, but if it's the actual like engineers, it makes it even
They're
better.
like, no, you need to really get into
Yeah,
it.
this thing can.
Let me show
this
you
thing
what the
can get
fuck.
after it.
Yeah, let me show you what this thing can do. And they're like, no one's gonna drive it this way.
Full burnout.
Like, this is the Motor Trend review.
Lexus. It's not boring. Yeah.
It's not your fucking grandpa's. Like, jeez. settle the fuck down. Anyways, it really made me want one real bad. Yeah, real bad. Apparently those things sound good too. Actually, there's a guy in my town who has one with like a muffler delete or something and just like punches it everywhere.
As he should.
Sounds awesome. Yeah, it sounds dope. I think those things have some issues though. I don't totally remember, but I kind of recall them.
It's not the
being-
suspension, huh?
There's something weird with them where it's like they're not quite as reliable.
And then if they
as the-
break, it's very complex
yeah,
and
it's probably
expensive
like,
to fix.
you're not fixing it in your garage. But apparently they do open wheel burn or one wheel burnouts like nobody's been. Takeshi in there tearing that shit up.
Yeah, he's probably listening to the Tokyo Drift song as he did that.
Getting amped up.
He had it on his Mark Levinson.
Yeah, plugged into his first gen iPod.
Yeah, with the iPod port.
It's auxiliary.
26 speaker, just like blowing out the, it's like rattling. Yeah. Oh man! So pick yourself up an LS 400 and send in your reckless burnout pictures. That might be all of the automotive talk we have.
I saw someone ask like if we had any stories about getting sideways. I don't have anything specific, but it seems like that's something where you see so many videos of people fucking up doing it.
Yeah.
You're like very like, at least I am.
Yeah,
If I do it, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this in a way where like, even if this goes really wrong,
Yeah.
the worst thing I'm gonna do is just like have to turn around.
Yeah.
or something.
yeah. I don't think I've ever. Well, no, that's not true. One time, I was gonna say the only time I've just like done some donuts in a parking lot or something. But one time in the I had a 510. I had swapped it, so it had a non-turbo SR motor in it, and I was leaving the gym and getting on an on-ramp, and I like lost it. I was like punching it, and I slid it into a tree. Okay. Yeah. And so I, God, I didn't want to.
How much detail do you want to go into?
I bought another body.
Transferred everything over.
And then I transferred everything, including the including the VIN. And then I
You've donated its soul.
then I cut the old one into 4 pieces,
Placed them
I
in
remember seeing the pictures
different-
of that.
and I placed it in the garbage.
in different garbages across
And
town.
then I wiped. So the story is I slid it into a tree and then disposed of it, and then it never existed again.
Yep.
I stole its fucking fingerprints.
And that was the time you got sideways.
And that's my sideways story. That was the time I goosed it a little too much in my stiffly sprung.
It's going around.
It came around. That thing came around fast. Those
That's a
cars-
short ass wheelbase.
short wheelbase, and that type of rear suspension is called a semi-trailing arm rear suspension. It's just like a bar like spanning the car, like right behind the front, right behind the doors, and then like trailing arms that come out from the bar into the wheel. And so and like that's it. And then like a spring and a shock. And it's just like this single it's independent
Technically.
suspension, but like you'd almost rather have a straight axle. And E30 M3s are the same way as that. And it's just like it's the worst rear suspension design. And mostly what people do with it is just make it not work. You just put something so stiff in it that it like doesn't.
It doesn't do.
You just eliminate the suspension.
It's technically not independent.
Yeah, but it makes them behave, especially on any kind of bumpy stuff. I think that's what happened. Is I went around a corner and like the wheels like came up. You know? It's like yeah. Lena says swing axle is worse. What is that? That's like old Volkswagen or something.
Yeah, I think so.
There's some pretty lame ones. It's funny now, like everything's like, it's like a 12 link.
Yeah.
The rear, it's okay. Only half of it's aluminum.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, old shit was like
Jank.
so bad compared to this.
Yeah, the only sideways story, I don't have much because I've owned a Prelude, which is front-wheel drive, the STI all-wheel drive, and the Jeep all-wheel drive. But in the STI, on like rainy days, I would set the DC-CD like to full rear, or like, you know, as much as you could, which is like 70-30, I think. And like anytime like I would be making a left turn at a stoplight, usually a protected left turn, like the light would turn green and I'd be the first car, and I would just start to make the left turn and then just punch it and get the back end out. But the thing about that is you get the back end out, and then you let off, and then the car instantly just gets traction again because it's all-wheel drive. Like all four tires just get traction, so it violently shifts back to the right.
Yeah, the violent snapback on cars.
That's what gets you.
That'll get people.
Right.
That's why you got to really learn to like ease back on. The M5 is really easy to fuck around with. That car is just like buttery smooth. It makes you look
Bad.
It makes you look like you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But every time I've driven that car, like, kind of dumb like that in the rain or something, I just have this image of, like, is this going to be the time?
Yeah,
like,
Then you just lose
yeah,
it.
I, like, keep this car nice for 5 years, and I just, like, put it into
a tree.
Cut it in half.
Then you gotta find another one and swap.
Find another one.
Bin swap
I
it.
gotta cut it in half.
Throw in the garbage.
The whole story. I gotta put it in the recycling center.
Gotta get some burner phones and
Yeah, I mean, I've been down that road. I want to do that again. It's just the workload goes through my mind, and I ease off that throttle.
yeah.
Okay, this is where if you thought we were off the rails before, this just came through my mind the other day. I actually don't remember why, but when the original Nintendo, did you guys have one?
Yeah.
The NES.
Yeah.
How people would, like, sometimes it wouldn't like boot, like a game wouldn't boot, and for whatever reason, it's crazy that this happened
Pre-internet. Yeah.
Everyone did it. You would blow on the
The
cartridge.
universal way to
And it
fix
worked.
it was to blow on the cartridge and blow in the
Pull it out
machine.
and blow on the cartridge. And I was just I was thinking about it today because I was like, who thought that was doing
Anything. Yeah. Yeah.
like there's so much
Dust.
Now I just need some saliva.
You know what it needs is air. It must have been that it was just resetting the contacts, like just the act of pulling it out. I mean, it legitimately, you had to put it back in a few times, but the blowing on, we used to blow on it.
You gotta blow
so
harder.
But the thing that cracks me up is like that whole phenomenon, that myth, lived and died within the Nintendo. When your HDMI cable's hooked up, you
don't blow on it.
Nobody blows in any other appliance other than the original Nintendo. It was just like, no, you're blowing it. You're blowing that fucking cartridge. I don't know why that was cracking me up the other day. Like, how did that spread?
I don't even know.
There must be some story
Nintendo
where like
Power.
Nintendo Power had some like hot
top
tip.
Yeah.
Blow on it. Spit in the cartridge. That'll fix it.
I remember I had so much issues with it. My parents got like the official Nintendo like cleaning kit.
Damn.
And like all it fucking was Q-tips and
Yeah.
a bottle of alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah.
Here it is. Here, clean it up. Clean it up, buddy. Okay. And finally, this is a pretty contentious topic within the Car Bros production team.
Back at the office.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mobile order.
Yeah. This has been causing some rift in the
This is
in the team.
This is
There's a
driven
VH1
a-
behind the music. There's gonna be
driven a wedge into the Car Bros family.
Yeah. The two mics are on one side, and I'm holding my own.
John's a big mobile order fan.
I'm a big
Here's the thing: we're talking about like a restaurant where we'll be like,
Which most-
use our app.
I would say
Like,
most fast-ish food has
it's
a
pretty
mobile.
common now.
Yeah.
If you're bigger than like a restaurant of like one city,
Yeah.
you know, you probably have an app, and you can probably order.
Yeah,
through
we're
it.
not talking about like DoorDash or whatever. We're talking the actual, actual using whoever's at Chipotle.
Yeah. So like Chipotle has an app, and it's like, well, order
like,
skip
ahead.
the line, and they always say like skip the line, like order ahead or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so John's all for it. I am for it in some cases, but here is my disclaimer where I think it's just fucking broken, and personally, I think they should just do away with it. Is any kind of restaurant where the speed of the restaurant depends on the production line, the speed of the line to order.
The in-house customers.
Yeah, so you wait in line, and as you are ordering, they're making it in front of you. And so the places where this is like custom pizza places where they'll make
it's like the assembly line format.
The assembly line.
Like
Chipotle
Subway,
is probably the most.
Chipotle
Panda
and
Express.
Panda are like the two main ones.
Panda
but, like
Express.
Subway has been there for years.
It's like you're at the counter and the
Yeah.
guy's like, "What do you want?" And you're like
Yeah.
pointing at it, and he's making it in front of you.
Right, yeah.
Those places should not have mobile order, in my opinion, because people will mobile order, and then it's as if they cut you in line or something.
Let me shut you down right now. As someone who pretty much exclusively
John
uses mobile
purely
order.
mobile order.
Let me just say that I also dislike mobile ordering, but we just clarified earlier. I think that's because I
You like
usually-
to eat at the
I
restaurant.
usually eat there.
Yeah.
And I don't just grab it and go.
Grab and go, yeah. So
Anyways.
when you mobile order, like during rush hour times, I could say the quickest time the app allows you to pick it up is 10 to 15 minutes. So it's not like you order it and they instantly start making the food.
Sure.
So if the line is backed up, right, and then
Yeah.
they instead of taking the next person in line, they stop the line and make a mobile order. That person is ordered minimum 10 minutes earlier and paid for it already. So the restaurants
Who cares?
doesn't matter, bro. It's just like
They didn't stand in line.
doesn't matter.
They didn't stand in line. It slows the line down.
So say you go to Olive Garden and
Which I would never do. It's very
you walk in
hypothetical.
and you're like table for two, and they say, okay, it'll be like 20 minutes. And then 5 minutes after you, another couple walks in and like, hey, we have a reservation, and they immediately get seated. Are you okay with that? Because that's the same fucking thing.
That's fine. No.
It's I made a reservation for my
fine.
food to be made at this time.
The places where I don't care are places where the ordering function and the food being made function are
Separate.
divorced.
Like the more traditional, like Taco Bell.
Yeah, Starbucks or whatever. You're just
yeah.
throwing an order into the trenches, and whoever's making it and whatever. If I'm disconnected from the wait time, I don't care as much. Panda Express. I mean, the biggest problem I have with it is they're not fucking set up to do it well. It's always like, hold on, we have to three burritos.
There's a line going out the door.
Yeah, there's like a line there, and anyway.
But usually the thing that's slowing down the line is not mobile order. It's the freaking people that stand in line, and then when they get to the front, they order fucking 5 meals worth of food.
Well,
Because
mobile order could theoretically be the same thing.
yeah, but at least the employees have the entire.
I got a mobile order.
Yeah. At least they have the entire order rather than relying on a human to be like, okay, wait, now this one gets guac, but this one doesn't. It's just like that's.
Anyways, let us know your thoughts.
Come on, yeah. Which side of the fence are you on?
I think the best part of all this is that 2 people said who makes a reservation at Olive Garden.
That's true.
Oh,
It's the first one that came to mind considering I went there last week.
solid. All right. Well, anyways, that's all we got. Thank you guys for being here. If you're enjoying this or anything we do, check out our Patreon.
Most importantly, go get that Kickstarter over the
Jack
over the
Diamond,
hump.
we got 2 days to get that thing funded. Please, if you are remotely, please.
I'm in a bed.
Old Jack.
Oh, Jackie boy.
It's
No,
just,
seriously, we have some fucking hilarious ideas. That,
it's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be funny.
It's a lot more than what you've seen before.
Yeah,
I'd say.
I think it's going to be some next level shit, at least for us. So if you're even on the fence about it, I would recommend doing it. Personally, I'd say go for it. So yeah, please make that happen. There's a link in the description below, I believe, or you can Google Car Bros Kickstarter. Also, we have a Patreon, but if you're even remotely thinking and you're on the fence, Kickstarter for sure. So 2 more days to make that happen. Also, we
Mike
will,
C says he's in for at least 100, but he wants a semi-nude seat. Okay, well, depends on his definition of semi.
okay, well, we'll see. Jack might be open to that.
We'll have to talk to him.
I mean, you did say you would do anything.
Anything to anyone. So we will be back. This is live right now, and by the way, thank you to everyone who is here live. That always makes this super fun. You guys are a great audience. If you would like to join them, we do this typically on the first Sunday of every month. We will be back on April 5th, 5 p.m. Pacific time, Sunday, April 5th, 2020. 5 p.m. Pacific time. Come join us live. It's a lot of fun to be here with all the other
Hopefully
cool
we'll be there to
people.
talk about the success of the Jack Diamond
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We'll be deep into
Jack
production.
Diamond will be on our way. All three of us will have LS 430s. A lot's going to change in the next month. We'll be completely different people. Thank you guys for being here. We really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you in 1 month.
All right. See ya.
Bye-bye.